Hey my dear lovely chosen ones, how are you? So I did a reading for all of you, and ironically it turned out to be for those in divine soul connections as well. I mean to say, it turned out to be specially meant for divine soul counterparts, and that proves that all those who are dealing with a spiritual connection, are in separation, are experiencing a lot of difficulties, challenges, obstacles, and a kind of heartbroken. There's a purpose behind your suffering. There's a purpose behind the separation, and you are a chosen one. This is something I'd like to put it out, first of all, for a lot of you, okay? Because you need to know this. Otherwise, you won't be able to maneuver your way through these challenges, these obstacles, and these problems, okay? So this reading is for all those chosen ones who are dealing with a divine soul connection, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a condition here. If it's not something you resonate with, if you do not have a spiritual connection to deal with, that doesn't mean you're not a chosen one, okay? So I'm just saying that it turned out to be for divine soul counterparts as well, okay? So I'll begin with the reading now. It shows here that a lot of you are going through a lot of difficult times in your life. For those in divine soul connections, they see that their counterparts are not interested in pursuing them. They see that their counterparts are much more interested in something or someone else, and that brings them a lot of pain. That brings them a feeling of loss. They feel heartbroken. They feel as if there's nothing left in their life and everything has ended. So this reading is for those chosen ones out there who are in similar situations, who are experiencing a lot of bad times, in short, in simple words, in their life, and they do not know how they'll ever come out of it and how they'll ever be able to bring any change in their life or just come out of the situation, okay? So the guidance for you here is that you've got to allow whatever is happening in your life to unfold naturally, which means you cannot fight against these current changes in your life, especially if it's time for you to be in separation with your counterpart, if it's time to remain apart from them, to remain distant from them, or for things to end in between the two of you, at least for the time being, if that's what is the purpose behind the separation, of that's the divine plan for you. You've got to allow these changes to unfold. You've got to let God take control and not lose sight of your purpose and the purpose of your being. This is what is coming up. I'm seeing that surely many of you are extremely heartbroken over something negative that's happening in your life, and especially for those who are in divine soul connections, they're heartbroken over their counterparts' current choices and decisions which involve other people in their life. Definitely, it looks like they are under a spell of illusion, negativity, toxicity, and all sorts of not so good things, all sorts of negative things to say. You've got to understand that they have their own divine life plan. They are the master of their own life. They are the creator of their own reality. So the separation is happening because your counterpart needs to go through a very dark, intense, painful, transformative period of their life for the way they're acting and behaving right now. You might feel like it's the end of the world, or those who are not in divine soul connections, something else is disturbing you, something else is bothering you, some other kind of negativity is there in your world which disturbs you, which has brought in a lot of endings and a lot of pain in your life, and you are not sure about how to deal with the situation. You're not sure about what to do. You're not sure about how to heal yourself and how to bear this pain. In short, in simple words, all you've got to do here is trust Lord, trust the Almighty and the divine plan He's got for you, because there's nothing in your control. Okay, it's all under divine control. I'm saying that because Judgment and Temperance is here, as well as Hangman. So there's nothing in your hands, and the more you'll try to run against the flow of the river right now, I mean the flow of these changes, the more you'll suffer, the more lost you'll feel, the more painful it's going to become. This phase is the phase of transformation for you and for your life. Okay, this is the period where you've got to show a lot of strength and courage, and you've got to trust divine even if you've lost all your faith and trust, because I see that you don't have any other choice. You might feel like, especially those who are dealing with a divine soul connection, your wrongdoers are going to escape from their consequences. No. Even if it's your own divine soul counterpart who's deceiving you, who's hurting you, who's cheating onto you, who's betraying you, who's not acting right, who's running behind materialistic things, who is doing things out of lust, greed, hate, ego, envy, jealousy, or whatever it is, there's a very bad situation, event, incident, or phase about to enter in their life, which is going to teach them the lessons they're supposed to be learning. You cannot teach them anything. This is what you need to know here. This is what you've got to accept and absorb within your being. There's nothing you can do to fix them or their life except surrendering and letting divine take control, because this is what you've got to allow. You've got to allow divine to take control, and you've got to surrender yourself, your worries, your pain, and everything that you're going through under the feet of God, and just come into your true real self. That is what you've got to do. Okay, doesn't matter if you're a divine feminine, divine masculine, man or woman, whatever labels you'd like to put onto yourself. Look beyond these labels and connect with your inner self, with your real self, and with your souls, with your soul, your Almighty. This is what you've got to do. You've got to use clear judgment here, because I see that you are in a lot of pain. Many of you are becoming completely helpless and hopeless about the current situation of yours. I'm not saying that it's not difficult for you. I'm not going to say that your feelings are not valid, are not justified. All I'm saying here is that this is the phase of your life you've got to give to God. This is the phase of your life you've got to trust God with. You cannot do anything to fix the situation. It's just not in your hand. It's not in your control. Your counterpart is not acting right. It's because they are under the spell of negativity, illusions, and Maya. And you cannot do anything about it. Only God can. Those others who are not dealing with the soul connection, something else is there. Something else that is giving you a lot of pain. Something else which has brought in a lot of negativity, a lot of upheaval, a lot of sadness, sorrow, suffering in your life, and you do not know how to deal with the situation. You've got to give it to God. You've got to surrender. You've got to get in this hangman position to allow realizations, epiphanies, and clarity to come to you. And you've got to be patient here. You've got to surrender everything. You've got to let go of everything that is bothering you. Do not try to fight against these changes. Do not do anything in haste. Don't go to your counterpart to fix them. Don't tell them anything. Don't say anything to them. They won't understand anything you have to say. They don't care at present about anything you have to say. You have to understand that at present they are not being their real self. Instead, they are being the kind of person the world wants them to be. The world which revolves around them, the world they live in, which is again under the illusion of Maya, negativity, and kind of evil which is present in their minds. They are the victim of their own ego and pride right now, for which they will suffer. A time is coming in their life which is going to make them regret anything and everything they are doing here with you. This time, this disastrous time which is coming in their life or in your abuser's life, whoever is causing trouble for you, whoever is causing these difficulties for you, a time is coming which is going to make them regret everything they are doing. All the cheating, all the lying, all the deception, all the betrayal they've given you here, they'll pay the price for that. That too in the very near future, or for those others of you in the distant future, but that is coming. This is what you've got to know here. God is here to bring you the justice you need, but you've got to trust God for that. And I see that a lot of you have lost that trust and faith. You're not able to trust anything. You're not even able to trust your own self right now. It's that difficult. We see that. You are in a lot of pain. You're trying to show off to the world that you're doing all good and all fine, but deep down, only you know what you're going through. Your Lord Almighty knows it very well. So you've got to go back to your source. You've got to realize that first and foremost, it's your Creator, it's your Lord, it's your God who's in control and who needs to be in control always, even about your own life as well. And your thoughts. You've got to focus your thoughts onto God. And that's why I'm recommending again all of you to get Srimad Bhagavad Gita and start reading it. Everything I'm saying here is going to become crystal clear to you once you get it and read it. Okay, you've got to do it. Again, it's up to you, your choice, if you want to or not, because many of you come from different backgrounds and you might think that I'm trying to pursue you towards this path. I'm trying to force you to choose this path, or I'm trying to influence you to choose this path. No, I do not have any personal agendas here. I'm just giving you the message I'm receiving and I've received. What you do with it, how you take it, is up to you. Okay, I'm just bringing you the guidance which is needed for you. And you'll understand why I'm saying this. Once you read it, you'll understand everything. It's just a matter of a choice you've got to make. Okay, if anyone is thinking of giving any answer to your abusers or to your counterpart, don't do it. Just don't. Silence is what you need right now. Silence and surrender is what you need right now completely. You've got to focus only and only on yourself. You've got to be with this pain for a while. You've got to allow this pain to transform you and make you connect with your real self. And you've got to let anything and everything that's happening to happen without any of your interference, because your interference can make things worse. And it's not like your counterpart isn't going to experience anything worse for doing you so worse or doing you so bad. They will. Your abusers are going to experience the same for those of you who are not in divine soul connections. But you've got to use clear judgment here. You've got to focus on developing yourself, your courage, your faith and your trust back. You've got to focus on some purposeful work with the help of God, and you can seek divine help for that. You've got to just shift your focus here and not worry about these changes or about your counterpart. Do not become so fixated and focused on what they are doing. Yes, they are doing absolutely evil right now. For sure. They are doing absolutely ridiculous things. They are being absolutely horrible right now. For sure. We are not denying that fact. They lose everything. None of their dreams are coming true. Okay, especially if they are cheating onto you. Especially if someone is betraying you or deceiving you. For those of you who are not in divine soul connections, there's someone who's betraying you. There's someone who's doing you dirty. There's someone who's adding negativity in your life. Or you're just fed up of these changes. You're just fed up of these trials, these challenges, or whatever it is that's happening. Hang in there. Hang in there. There's a purpose behind it, and it's all leading you towards a divine path you cannot see right now. You just got to trust the process. Okay. Meditate if you want to. Chant God's name if you want to. It'll help you. But you've got to make sure that you're not losing your senses, you're not acting out of haste, you're not getting impatient, you're not doing things out of anger, out of vengeance, or a feeling of revenge just because you're so hurt or out of this hurt. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. Let God take control. God is going to bring you the justice in His own way. For sure, there are people who are adding negativity in your life, and there are people in your counterparts' life as well who are persuading them, who are influencing them to do things like this to you, or in your soul connection, or just in their life in general, because that's what they've learned. They haven't learned anything about real love, nor are they even willing to. And they'll pay the price for that. They will. A very bad time, a very bad phase, a very painful experience, a disaster, a misfortunate event is on the horizon for all of these people. But that is not in your control. You shouldn't wish that upon anyone. You must only focus on yourself and onto God. That's it. That's it. And on this purposeful work you've got to be doing in your life, whatever it is, whatever you're supposed to be doing for the betterment of yourself or others, do it. Focus on that. Leave everything behind. Leave everything under the feet of God and just surrender, let go. God is going to fix everything that needs to be fixed, which is not in your control. Okay, this is what you need to know here. That's all. So this is your message for now. I hope that it helps and it brings you the clarity you needed. Okay, so that's all. I'll be back again with new updates and new insights. Till then, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Bye-bye.